Hi, I'm Lina Nielsen, and today I'm going to take you through a power yoga for core class. So we're going to flow through some lovely movements, but it's all going to be targeted on working and strengthening the core, and we will stretch out towards the end of the session as well. So when you're ready, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to get started in a butterfly position. So that's seated on our bums. Make sure to remove the flesh from under your sit bones just to make sure you're nice and rooted to the mat. We're going to bring both soles of the feet to touch. You can have them either far from your sacrum or close, however you prefer. And then you're going to come to lie down. Good. So once you're lying down, make sure you're nice and comfortable. So any small movements. And we're just going to allow gravity to open out the hips for us. So see if you can let go of the tension from your inner thighs. Good. And get the shoulders nice and rooted to the mat. So roll them back and down. We're just going to take a few breaths here. Good. Settling down, bring ourselves to the present moment. This is the point in the practice, or before we begin our practice, where you can really start to focus and set your intentions for the practice. So we're going to work on the core, so maybe any kind of motivational words or affirmations you wish to give yourself. And allowing that breath to slow down naturally. So a few more moments here. We are going to start flowing from this position, so it's going to start to get quite intense quite quickly. So maybe just using the last few moments to relax and to settle in this relaxing posture. So we'll take 2 more breaths. Big inhale. Good, and exhale. Good, and for your final breath, we're going to breathe through the belly. So expand as you inhale, letting that belly rise, and then exhale, just let it deflate. Good. Okay, let's get started. So from here, we're going to come up onto the elbows. So come onto the forearms. So you should be able to see your heels. So from here, what I want you to do is slowly and gently lift up the left hand, reach it forwards. And then without letting the shoulders drop, as you next inhale, we're going to lift up the right hand. Good. And hold here for 3, for 2, for 1. We're going to come back down the same way we came up. So right elbow touches first, then the left elbow back into this position. We're going to do that exercise 2 more times. So the magic number is 3. So as you inhale, left hand reaches forwards without dropping the shoulders. So we're engaging the core here. Next, inhale, right hand reaches forward. Hold for 3, for 2, and 1. We go back the same way we came in. Right elbow touches, left elbow touches. Good. So feel the core slowly start to engage. Last one, as we inhale, left hand reaches forwards. Good. Next, inhale, right hand reaches forwards. Hold for 3, for 2, for 1. This time we're going to slowly rise to tap our heels and come into your Baddha Konasana. So both hands interlaced over the toes. We take 1 inhale, chest rises, nice tall spine looking up towards the ceiling. Nice little stretch for the core. And as we exhale, we round the spine, folding forwards. So that was a Pilates type exercise. So it's really good for, again, not only engaging the core, but bringing that awareness of what it is in the core or the abdominals that you are engaging. So it's really nice to start with that so that you can start to really focus on exactly what muscles are working when you're doing certain core exercises. Good. So 1 more moment here. This is just to relax the core. We will have nice breaks through this class because we might need it. Okay, as we next inhale, we're going to come up to seated. Just slowly pry the knees together. Good. And then cross 1 foot over the other, and we're going to roll to our tabletop position. So once you're here, remember that knees are directly underneath the hips and they're hips distance apart. Hands are directly underneath the shoulders. So once you're here, I want you to flex the feet, so tuck the toes under. As we next inhale, we're slowly going to raise the knees off of the mat just 1 inch. Raised tabletop position. You're going to feel this in the quads and the core. We're going to hold for 3, for 2, for 1. We lift the tailbone up to the sky, downward facing dog. Once you're here, you can start to pedal out the feet. Good. So slowly straighten 1 leg at a time, just slowly opening the back of the body. Good. And then as you next inhale, we're slowly going to roll ourselves back to this tabletop position. So knees are bent, toes are still flexed, and we're going to hover here for 3, for 2, for 1, back to downward facing dog, tailbone lifts. Nice, maybe one more pedal of the feet. Maybe start to drop one hip at a time, just to open out the back of the body. We're going to do that one more time. So inhale, rolling back to raised tabletop. Knees are bent. Good. Knees are just an inch off of the mat. Hold for 3, for 2, for 1. We're going to drop the knees down. Good. And just relax. Maybe a quick side to side sway, just to release the core. Good. As you next inhale, we're slowly going to reach the left leg all the way back. Right leg all the way back, find high plank position. So another core exercise. So we're really starting to engage the core here. We're going to hold the high plank for 3, for 2, and 1. We're going to drop the knees down, relax the feet, and then drop the chest and the chin all the way down to the mat. Keep the elbows nice and squeezed together. And as you next inhale, just lift the chest off the mat. Find your cobra position. Also a lovely stretch for the core. Good. And as we exhale, we're going to find downward facing dog. Good. Hold this one for 1 breath. And exhale. Good. As we next inhale, come up high into the toes. And as we exhale, small steps towards the top of your mat. We're going to give the arms a nice break. So once you're here, you're just going to grab hold of opposite elbows and find ragdoll position. Slowly swaying side to side. Hopefully your core is feeling nice and active. Starting to feel that feeling of when you do core work and everything feels like it's being squeezed. Good, and we're just going to start to warm up the body just a little bit further. So slowly and gently, we're just going to let go of the elbows. Let the hands hang heavy. Good. And on a very long inhale, we're slowly going to unravel to standing, stacking each and every single vertebrae on top of each other. And the head's going to unroll last. So make sure everything is nice and stacked. You're nice and tall. Good. Once you're here, we're going to find mountain pose, palms face forwards. And I want you to think about letting the thumb drift back as the pinky drifts forward, just to rotate the shoulders open. Good, nice, proud position. We're going to take one nice big inhale and exhale. Good, tuck the tailbone under. We're still engaging that core. As we inhale, hands rise to the sky. Bring the palms to touch and gaze at the thumbs. As you exhale, forward fold. Allow the knees to soften just to make this forward fold nice and easy. Good. As you next inhale, we're going to come up to halfway lift. So straighten the legs, straighten the back. Bring hands to the shins or just above the knees. Good. And as you exhale, plant the palms down. Take a huge step back with the left foot and then the right into your high plank position. So again, we're going to hold this one for 3, for 2, and 1. Option here to either drop the knees, or if you want to challenge the core and the arms a little bit more, we go for that nice half press up. Good. Inhale through to either cobra, or if you feel good, hips and knees can lift as well, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 1 breath here, and exhale. Good. Inhale, we're going to roll to high plank. Hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Option to drop the knees or keep them lifted for that half press up as you exhale, lower. Inhale through to your back bend, so upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we're doing the nice repetitions here to get the core going. We go 1 more time. Inhale, we roll to high plank. Hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Option to drop the knees or keep them lifted. Exhale, half press up. Inhale through to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. As you next inhale, we're going to lift right foot high up to the sky, as high as you can take it. 3-legged dog. As we exhale, squeeze the right knee to touch the nose or as close as you can take it. Nice. Inhale, we take that foot back up to the sky. Exhale, right knee touches the left elbow. And we're going to come into a fallen star. So that means Just going to switch sides. We're going to extend the right leg out to the side. You can drop the foot or you can keep it lifted, up to you. We're going to work that right oblique. If you feel good, left arm reaches to the sky. Fallen star pose. This is a side plank variation, so hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Plant the left palm if it's lifted, and as you inhale, right foot high to the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, we come back into downward facing dog. Good. We'll take one nice breath here, and exhale, just drop the knees down, big toes touch, and come into child's pose position. Good. So start to feel the breath quicken, the heartbeat quicken. Good, and the core working here. So we're going to work all areas of the core. So that's the front, the sides, and also the lower back as well. So just working our way through this power yoga class. In child's pose, this is our resting pose. I just want you to think about bringing that breath back down to a nice slow rhythm before we go to the other side. One more breath and exhale. Good. As we inhale, slowly roll up to tabletop. And as we exhale, we're slowly going to lift our way up to downward facing dog. Good. As you next inhale, left foot lifts high to the sky, 3-legged dog. As we exhale, left knee touches the nose or as close as possible, crunch here. Inhale, we take that left foot back up to the sky. Exhale, left knee meets the right elbow. And then you're going to extend that leg. Left foot can touch the floor or you can keep it lifted. And then when you're ready, right hand reaches to the sky, fallen star on the other side. So this is a side plank variation. You're going to feel it in the left obliques, the side of the left abs, hold. And as you exhale, right hand comes back down. Take that left foot up to 3-legged dog. And as we exhale, we bring that left foot down, downward facing dog. Good. Nice work. So slowly and gently as we inhale, we're going to roll back to high plank. Good. This time, we're going to take both heels towards the right side of the mat. Toes are going to face the left. And we're going to come into a side plank on the other side. Good. So this is the side we worked on the first side. So we've just worked the left obliques. We're coming back to the right obliques. This time in a traditional side plank. Gosh, just a tongue twister, that one. Hold for 3, for 2. Try to lift the hips as high to the ceiling for 1, and bring that left hand back down. Come into your high plank position. Good. Once you're here, take an exhale. Stay with me here. Keep that work going. As you next inhale, both heels drop to the left side. Now the toes are pointing to the right side of the mat. Good. And we're coming into side plank on the other side. So see if you can lift that hand up to the sky. And the hips are lifting, almost bringing a banana shape to your body. We're going to hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Bring that right hand back down to the mat. Come back into high plank. Hold it here for 3. You've got this for 2, and 1. Drop the knees down. Drop chest and chin down to the mat. Good. The arms have been working there as well. As you next inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, come into child's pose. I'm going to give the shoulders a nice little rest. I'm feeling this in my core quite a bit now, which is good. We're working, we're engaging. And the thing about yoga and core work in yoga is it's not those fast kind of repetitions that you do where you feel like you're losing control. The whole time we've got control of the muscles working in the core. So it's a really, really beneficial way to gain some strength in the core. And also to just increase that awareness of which muscles are working here. Good. So one more breath here in child's pose. Remember, this is our resting pose. So try to bring that breath back to natural. Nice exhale. Good. As we inhale, we're slowly going to roll up to tabletop. Flex the feet, and as you exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to use this as a transition. So as you next inhale, come up high to the toes. And as we exhale, we're going to take some small steps towards the top of the mat, coming into our halfway lift. So straight legs, straight back. Good. And exhale, forward fold. So for those of you seasoned yogis, you'll know that we just did the most long-winded version of Sun Salutation A. It's a great way to warm up the body, Sun Salutation A, but I included a lot more core exercises in there. So just to wake up the core, get it working. Good. So from here, from forward fold, we're going to bend the knees to bring the bum down, come into chair pose, so arms are lifted. Good. And we're starting to use the glutes a little bit, but we're going to quickly change this into a core exercise. So as you exhale, palms come to touch, bring hands to heart center. Good. And using the strengthen your obliques, this is why we activated them. As we inhale, we're slowly going to rotate to the left, hooking the right elbow outside of the left knee, twisted chair pose. Good. So once you're here, use your elbow as a lever to twist yourself a little bit more. This is now a nice stretch for the obliques. Good. And as we inhale again, using oblique strength, we're going to twist to the other side. This time left elbow hooks outside of the right knee. Twisted chair. Nice. Take one breath here. And exhale. From here, as we inhale, come back to normal chair pose with hands at heart center. Keeping the gaze on your big toes, we need this for stability. As we inhale, we're going to lift the heels off of the mat and slowly bring the bum down to the heels. Good. From here, we can take hands behind us and slowly bring the bum down. Now we're seated nice and firmly on the mat. Bring your toes in front of you, knees are nice and bent. And as we next inhale, right foot lifts off of the mat. Left foot lifts off of the mat, and palms are facing upwards besides your knees. Boat pose, Navasana. This is a notorious pose for the core. You're going to feel this in the hip flexors as well, which makes up your core. Good. And we're going to hold here. Keep the gaze on your big toes. For 3, for 2, it's going to get worse. For 1, slowly and gently as you exhale, we're going to lower. Shoulders and feet are lifted off of the mat. Hollow body position for 3, for 2, for 1. We come back up to high boat pose. Good. 3, 2. We're going to do that 2 more times. 1, exhale, hollow body. Shoulders and feet lifted. 2, 1. Back up to boat pose. Last one. Good. Stay with me. 3, 2, 1, slowly lower, exhale, shoulders and feet lifted. For 3, 2, and 1. You can release. Ooh, that feels good for the core. Slowly and gently we squeeze knees into the chest. Nice. And slowly and gently just giving the core a nice little rest. It switches off in this position. And we're going to use this as a resting pose. So a few breaths here just to come back down to natural breath, slowing it down. We're going to come back into boat pose. We're going to deepen it a little bit. So maybe using this resting pose just to set your intentions, maybe finding that energy, that motivation to just keep going for a few more poses, working the core. Good. So slowly and gently, just come back up to seated. We bring the soles of the feet back down to the mat. Again, make sure the flesh is removed from under the sitting bones. This is going to help to find balance in that boat pose. And when you're ready, right foot lifts, left foot lifts, palms face up, boat pose. Good. This time, we're going to start to work on lengthening the legs. So as we next inhale, we're going to extend the left foot up. Good. Bring it back down. Good. Next inhale, right foot extends up. And exhale, bring it down. Good. So this is now almost Pilates type movement. So we're going to do that 2 more times on each leg. So as we inhale, left foot reaches up, bring it back down. Nice. Next inhale, right foot lifts up and bring it back down. If you're feeling your hip flexors working, that's a good sign. 1 more on each side as we inhale, left foot up and down. And last one, inhale, right foot up and bring it back down. We're going to see if we can challenge ourselves. So as you next inhale, maybe lift both feet up for 3, for 2, I'm shaking here, for 1, and slowly and gently bring the soles of the feet back down, and then slowly come to lie down. Again, squeeze the knees into the chest. Good. So a few breaths here. Take an inhale and exhale. Good. So slowly and gently we're going to start to rock forwards and backwards. until we can come up to a seated. We're going to cross one foot over the other and come into our tabletop position. We're going to go through a cat-cow to stretch the core. So as we next inhale, once you're in your tabletop, we're going to drop the belly, drop the spine, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Nice stretch for the core. Good. And exhale, we're just going to find cat pose. So arching the back this time, pushing the floor away with both hands, dropping the head and relaxing the neck. Good. Inhale, we come back to neutral tabletop position. And from here, we're slowly and gently just going to come to lie down on our stomachs, bringing the chest down as well. So the core, when I talk about the core, I not only mean the belly and the abs, we're going to work at the back as well, because the whole trunk makes up our core muscles. So we're going to work on just strengthening the lower back. So what I want you to do is press the tops of your feet down into the mat. This is going to activate the hamstrings and protect the lower back. We want to protect those bones that sit there, so we really want to start to activate the glutes and the hamstrings, which is going to help to protect the lower back. So once you're here, we're going to bring our hands just behind our ears, so fingertips behind the ears, and as we inhale, we're going to try and lift the chest as high as we can take it off of the mat, kind of coming into a baby cobra position. We're going to hold this for 3. You're going to feel the QL muscles, which just sit on either side of the spine, start to engage, start to work, for 2. And 1, slowly bring the hands back down and take a quick rest. We're going to deepen this now, so again, still working the lower back. So from here, what I want you to do is, again, we're going to bring the fingertips behind the ears. Good. But this time, as we inhale, we lift the chest up. We're also going to lift the feet off of the mat, coming into Locust Pose. So this is one of my favorite poses. We're going to hold for 3. Really good for strengthening the whole posterior chain. Good for 2. Keep going. And 1, slowly bring the chest back down. Maybe you can rest one cheek on the mat just to relax there. And that's the final piece of lower back work that we're going to do. So really nice to balance everything. So we've worked the front of the core, we've worked the side of the core, we've also worked the back. Now it's now time to give our core a nice, when I say core this time, our bellies a nice little stretch. So what I want you to do, so from here we're going to lift the feet off of the mat and bend the knees as much as possible. From here you're going to grab the inside of your ankles. The thumb is going to rest on the bottom of your feet. Good. So this is the position you want to be in. We're going to find bow pose. So it's really nice that we did locust before this, because it's really good to activate the hamstrings and the bum to understand how to get into bow pose. So once you've found this grasp, as we next inhale, we're going to lift the chest off of the mat. You're going to kick your shins into your hands to allow yourselves to lift off of the mat into a bow pose. So you're going to work the hamstrings and the glutes. But at the same time, it's a nice back bend, so you're going to stretch the core, stretch the hip flexors. We're going to hold for 2. And 1, release yourself back down. And take a nice little rest. Good. So that's the hard part of the power yoga flow over. So from here, what I want you to do is just slowly come up to tabletop. This is just to transition into lying down. So we're going to bring our feet in front of us, and once you're here, you're going to squeeze the knees into the chest, and we're going to find happy baby. So we're going to lift the feet up, soles of the feet face the ceiling, and we're going to grab hold of the outside of our feet, and you'll feel the spine round in the other direction. This is just to counter that bow pose. It's quite an intense back bend. So remembering that yoga is all about balance. So if we're going to bend the spine in one way, we're going to try and bend it in the other way, just to find that middle ground. Good. If you want to, you maybe want to stretch out the hamstring, you can start to lengthen one leg at a time if it feels good for you here in happy baby. But the whole purpose of this is just to round the spine in the other direction. Good. So we're going to stay here for a little bit. We're hopefully going to start to feel the breath slowing down and the heartbeat coming down as well, as we begin to wind down our power yoga flow. So 2 more breaths. Take an inhale and exhale. Good. As you next exhale, we're slowly going to let go of the feet and then slowly bring knees back into our chest. Good. And then slowly and gently we are going to drop both knees down to the left side, and you're going to feel a nice opener for the obliques. So we work the obliques as well, we want a nice stretch for there as well. So you'll notice everything that we worked, we are now stretching and winding down. So it's a nice balancing core workout that we've done today. Good. Just one breath here as we switch to the other side. And then in your own time, just slowly bring these back up and then back down to the other side. Nice stretch for the other side of the obliques. In a supine twist. Supine twist is also a great way to start to close your practice. It tells your body that you are done moving. It's a nice way to find some restorative energy. It's just to let the body switch off after some core work. One more breath. And exhale. Good. Inhale, we slowly bring these back to center. We're going to start to rock forwards and backwards, just to create some momentum. And we're going to come up to seated, back into the butterfly pose we found at the start. This time we are upright. So again, soles of the feet can be far away or they can be close to your body. Good. And I'm just going to grab hold of my ankles instead of interlacing my fingers over the toes, just to find a nice comfortable seated position. Good. And then we're slowly, as we inhale, chest lifts, nice tall spine. Good. And we're going to stay here as we begin to close the practice. So we're taking an almost active resting pose to close today. This is quite an active flow. We want to make sure that there is space in the belly, so we're finding a nice tall position. And exhale. We're going to take 3 long breaths here. You can start to close the eyes just to find some relaxation. So deep inhale. And try to keep the lips sealed as you exhale. Good, drop the shoulders down. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Feel yourself start to relax. One more breath. This time we're going to hold the breath. Keep holding, keep holding. And then you can sigh out your exhale. Good. Slowly let go of the ankles, or if you've got your fingers over your toes. Good. And then we're just going to finish with some easy twists just to again stretch out the core. So twisting to the left. Good. And twisting to the right. Nice. And well done for completing power yoga for core. I hope your core is okay. I hope it's nice and stretched out after a little bit of core work at the start. And thank you so much for flowing